me. I freaked out.
I want to talk to the house. Can you tell me your name? House, what do people call you? House, why do you draw people back here? House, what do you need from tonight?
Energy.
It's so clear. It's so clear.
Camera people, hold on to yourselves if you get tired tonight.
Oh my God.
We're taking you outside. Camera people, can you just raise your hand to make sure that you heard? Okay, you heard what I was saying, right? Aaron?
I'm super tired right now.
Okay. Let's go put another log
need
on the
to take-
fire.
Can
Can
Keep
I
it
just
stoked.
say, I bet the camera has actually caught me almost falling asleep.
What?
And I do not fall asleep. I almost said something, but I'm like, it's the trip. So I've just been trying to pep myself up.
Oh my God, we're not bringing Billy in this building.
No,
Why not?
please don't.
Well, no.
What if
What we need to ask Billy what he thinks about that,
yeah,
because
fair.
he
But can we
wants
do that
it
by
to
the
come.
campfire?
That was my
Yeah, we can do that by the campfire.
So we noticed Erin, one of our camera gals, losing energy, drained. We had her go out by the fire and kind of re-energize, and then it started to hit us bad. I mean, I know there's footage of me nodding off.
Hello? Hello?
Let's get Billy.
I am like,
Let's go get the fire out.
yeah.
Let's do that.
This house is a succubus. This house's goal is to drain the energy from all of the people visiting in it.
Got another log?
Yeah. Let's do this whole, like, flame life thing.
We asked what the house needs, and it was clear as a bell. The response was energy.
Energy is not necessarily an easy word, especially to come out of a DR60. So the fact that not only did it have vocal tone, but that, it was the word energy was pretty incredible. And I think that we all reacted really strongly because it was so intense.
It immediately made all of us go, oh my gosh, that's why so many people are coming here, and that's why so many people are taking care of this place. This house needs the energy of these people.
We kind of had to pivot, really, and rethink what we were going to do.
Aaron, do you have energy again? No?
You
No.
can stay.
Do you want to just chill by the... Give yourself 5
Give
by the
yourself
fire.
a minute.
We've got a couple camera people.
Yeah. We're
Hang out
all
by the fire.
together. Give yourself
I don't
a
want her
minute.
to stay alone.
She'll
she's
be
with
fine
the
by the
fire.
I'd say the fire's probably the safest place
I
we've got.
agree. If I had to be by myself, I'd want to be right here.
It's always good to know where your limits are, and with the tech crew, they really focus completely on capturing every moment, and that can leave you open to not, checking in with yourself. We just had to try to, go back to the safe zone of the campfire, made sure that she was okay, and really kind of like let her work herself back up.
We were down one camera person and have been doing this for like 45 minutes.
You want to put Billy in that chair?
Is he light?
As a feather.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing,
That's a
though.
good sign,
That's
yeah.
a good sign.
My initial reaction was really not wanting to bring Billy in at all. And maybe it's just because I'm really protective of him, but we've brought him into certain locations before that really do drain energy quickly. And he's been tapped for weeks. Like we basically just kind of have to wrap him up and leave him alone.
All right, Billy. Talk real loud, so there's no misunderstanding. We don't want to make you do anything you don't want to do. Billy, do you want to go inside? Is there something about this house that you know that we don't?
Billy, are you able to protect us?
Billy, how do you feel?
I go inside. Is there something about this house that you know that we don't? Billy, are you able to protect us? Billy?
What did he say?
Yes, I can.
How do you feel?
He says pretty good.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
let's do it. Before we even brought Billy in, we asked him a handful of questions, and he answered the one that was about protection and protecting us. And he was ready to pretty much go by the time he got to the door.
Are you waiting on me to walk in?
Yes, let's go.
All right, let's do it. Upstairs?
Yep.
All right.
After you guys.
I do need a flashlight.
I got one. Watch, it's just gonna be real bright for a second.
One of the things that everyone kind of warned us about, they all told us that there was a difference in the energy between the upstairs and the downstairs, and it was immediate. You could feel the change immediately. You get up the stairs and go into the top floor, and all of a sudden it was thick. While the downstairs is draining, the upstairs is 10 times worse.
Show us your true self. That's what we're here to see tonight. We can take it whatever it is.
Yeah.
If you would prefer to talk outside of the house, so the house isn't listening, can you knock?
If you are the house, can you knock?
Is that downstairs?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
hate
the
the
exorcism of the house was so bad because it didn't want to be cleansed.
I mean, if you are the house,
Yeah.
it's like kicking you out of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The body
Like
that you
exercising
possess.
someone's soul.
Mm-hmm. How did it build up like that?
What did we learn with the Dybbuk box?
The more
You can take anything, and if you continuously feed it something negative over and over and over again,
it will be that.
yeah.
And what you guys did with the Dybbuk box, you did because you were afraid that it would become conscious.
Exactly.
And 40 years ago, this house did, and it decided it likes to eat people.
But we also, again, we have to be careful about viewing it through a specific lens, because I don't necessarily want to jump directly to it's a bad thing that the house needs people.
Fair. That's
Because a lot of things do. We need emotional support from people to survive. We need attention, you know. Think about Timothy the other night.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he it was a really overwhelming experience.
Yes.
It took something from you, but it, I think, was a positive experience.
I
in the
agree.
end.
The longer we stayed in here, the more we started to realize that if this house is conscious, if this house does need people's energy to continue being conscious, it's going to do whatever it can to continue to take that energy. It needs to eat. And so it might be changing its narrative to fit what it needs to continue to bring people into this house. It needs an energy source. And I think a lot of people might hear that and think, well, that's obviously evil. I don't think that's the case. I don't think it really has any other choice. I think it just needs to survive.
Why is this house?
I don't know.
Hell.
Carol?
Carol.
What?
Yeah.
It said your name.
Yeah. Here.
It said
Oh,
your name.
man, my stomach just turned.
Did you hear it too?
No, I didn't.
It's just clear as day.
Yep.
Sorry.
It's all right.
I'm
But
gonna
I-
apollo the shit out of you, Gary.
But I asked it because I'm not that sorry.
Why is this house? Which part of the property should we go next? Who in this room do you feel connected to?
I think we should get out of the top floor
You're not
for a
feeling it?
little bit. I've got a bad headache.
Okay.
And like Anna said, it feels like I feel slimy. That's the best way to describe it.
I wasn't sleepy, but I was so exhausted. My eyes kept trying to shut, and it was like I was going somewhere else. And I didn't want to do that in the house. So I would get up and I would leave and I would go outside and I would recharge for a little bit. That's what it was like all night long.
Yeah.
The minute we walked outside, I feel great. Walked outside, had
That
a drink,
fresh
I'm good to
air.
go.
Yeah.
Maybe don't go in the house for a little while then.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking I might
Yeah.
Wanna do the
want to
woods?
check out the woods while I'm outside, kind of recharge for a little bit. I don't know. That's where I'm at.
I'm down for the woods.
I'm down.
The house hasn't gotten me yet.
Are you okay hanging inside with me?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I
feel
would
bad 'cause
actually.
I feel like everybody wants to go in the woods except for me.
I actually, now that I'm in the house, I want to focus on the house.
Okay.
I'm like in there now. I'm good.
And let's throw another log on our safe zone.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Okay, let's break.
do it.
You guys, I've never felt cooler.
That's crazy.
Please shut up.
I love it.
When we decided to change our tactics and split, my team headed to the woods and Greg offered me the ritual sword. He knew I wanted to learn more about it tonight, but bringing something this volatile into the house was definitely out of the question. Greg and Dana were great enough to trust me to take care of it again.
So this sword is a cursed sword, which has a ton of energy in it, which I am not letting affect me in a bad way, like the Lord of the Rings, because I think, holy crap, Blair Witch.
Yeah, right? Wow.
Whoa, that's so cool, though.
Look at this.
That is
Never mind.
such an awesome
I'll finish the story later.
Look at this. The shells. Yep.
Wow.
That's something else, guys.
Doesn't make me feel calm.
Yeah, well, it should. I mean, think Native Americans. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, confidently.
Okay. So we're coming up with respect. Thank you for letting us on your land tonight. What's that? Birds are.
Can I take a feather and put it on you?
Yeah, there's 3.
This is from me to you.
Watch out for that one. Spiders.
My God. Look at all of those.
What are they? Are they spiders?
I don't know what they are.
I can't get close.
Can you
to
guys see how
figure it
many
out.
of these there are?
They're hiding almost underneath from the light.
This place is weird.
Yeah.
A lot of people warned us that whatever was negative and nasty lived outside and on the land. But I didn't feel any of that at all, actually. Outside was where I felt like I needed to escape the house.
We're sorry that we're so confused. It's just really hard to understand what's going on here. Maybe it's beyond our comprehension, but we're trying really, really hard. If there's any way that you can help us understand why the things that happen on this property are happening, we'd be really appreciative.
We're looking for answers. And to get out of here safely.
I'm gonna shuffle my cards, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Everybody else decided to go up into the woods, but we thought we would stay here.
How do you feel about that? So let's see what we got. I have the Knight of Discs, so that's like the Knight of Pentacles. Queen of Swords. 2 of Swords. But the Knight of Discs represents a person who's watching over their lands.
That's what a lot of people feel about this house.
Yes.
An overwhelming need to continuously protect it.
Yes.
No matter
And it's
what.
Discs. So it's not protecting ideas.
Yeah.
It's not protecting
Material
feelings.
objects.
Material objects.
Mm-hmm.
And Queen of Swords is a woman who reigns over her mind.
Mm-hmm.
So she's in full control, but she's also sort of like given up the fight. Her sword is dangling down at her side, and she's had enough.
Mm-hmm.
She's not willing to defend herself anymore. She's not willing to stand up for her beliefs and her ideals. She is surrendering.
Is there anyone here that's like that? That feels like that?
House, do you hear that? Do you hear what we're saying? Do you think...
I heard something move upstairs.
Do you think that we've come in with these swords of peace to end this reign? To restore power back to some of the beings in this house?
I am unsure if we made contact with any of the specific spirits tonight, because we definitely made contact with the house. The spirits were being described by the Queen of Swords, who in the Thoth deck, she's just laying over her throne. She's just given up. She's not interested in fighting anymore. And when we would ask for if anybody wanted help, there would be nothing. Nobody wanted help. They're just sort of floating along.
This house is very much in self-preservation mode. It knows that the more it continues to kind of grow, the more it will draw people in, and the more people it draws in, the more energy it gets, and the more energy it gets, the more it can continue manifesting. So it feels like an incredibly intelligent thing that is very self-aware and knows exactly what it needs to do to continue getting what it needs, which is energy.
I have to say this. I don't know. It wasn't my thought, so that's why I'm saying it. I'm reading from somewhere. This sword and ourselves, we are not here to take anything else from you. I am so sorry that your land was taken from you. We are not a threat.
That's
we
a
are
good point.
on your side.
I have a sword on my back. See it how it's supposed to be. I'm trying to reprogram it.
I'm trying to also project these as feelings as I say them out loud in case there is that language barrier. But we are not a threat. We are different thought process.
This thing is icky, but I'm trying to make it refiltered so it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's full of energy and it's full of power, and if there's something that you need it used for to, I don't know, help fix this house, that's what we're here for.
I was like, oh my God, here we are, the hated ones, and one of them has a sword strapped to his back, and it just clicked to me. We are not here to steal your land. We are not here to be threatening, and in fact, the opposite.
My name is Greg. These are my friends Ty and Carol. Is there anything that you can tell us about the house to help us understand what's going on here? Are you connected with the house down the hill, or do you like to stay away from it? Can you tell us who you are?
Stay away from it.
Are you allowed to go in the house at the bottom of the hill? There's a tall figure that sometimes
I feel like it says I can't go in.
freely.
That screaming thing?
Well, it sounds like it goes, I can't go in.
Okay.
Listen.
Are you allowed to go in the house at the bottom of the hill? There's a tall figure
It does.
that sometimes comes
Hey, I hear
out
that
of
I
the
can't
house
go, and then
freely. Do you know who or what that is?
it's weird.
Are you guarding the house or keeping watch over it? Are you trying to keep people away from it or keep them safe while they visit? Or none of the above?
That was something.
Guarding the house or keeping watch over it? Are you trying to keep people away from it or keep them safe while they visit? Or none of
I
the
keep
above?
them safe.
Where do we need to go? The
Listen.
hill? There's a tall figure that sometimes comes in and out of the house freely. Do you know who or what that is? Are you guarding the house or keeping watch over it? Are you trying to keep people away from it or keep them safe while they visit? Or none of the above? Where do we need
I
to go?
hear I keep away.
I wanted to try something a little bit different tonight.
that kind of harkens back to one of the first experiences that we all had at the GRCC, and even further back with the Dybbuk box. We all played kind of an unwitting part when it came to the Dybbuk box. We sort of birthed this weird monster baby, and it was made out of a little bit of each of our fear. And because of that, it was very strong. So we decided that we wanted to create something that would take a piece of all of us that was positive and use that for a positive reason. We gave you guys some homework, and I asked you guys to give a mantra, an I am statement, something that summed up what you want to get out of paranormal investigation. We took those and turned them into symbols of intent. So hopefully you guys have kind of spent some time thinking about these things and thinking on them and thinking of your mantras and how much they mean to you, and imbuing these symbols with all of those energies and emotions. And that's for this. So we gave it a name already.
This?
Yeah. I kind of like the name. We're going to call it the Well of Intentions.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh my god.
Wow. This is like the biggest scrying mirror I've ever seen. And what we're going to do is, we're all going to take turns. I'm going to flip it around, and everyone is going to use their fingers to paint their symbol on the back of it. We're going to start in the middle, and then we're going to go around it. And as you do it, think that mantra in your head, and think about how much it means to you and how important it is, and load it with positivity. And then we'll use it, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Scrying mirrors are really just pieces of glass that have been painted black. And so oftentimes when people buy scrying mirrors from psychic events or even online, they haven't had any kind of ritual done to them, and they're really just kind of a black piece of glass. So for us, really putting a handful of different types of intention into it and dedicating it to those intentions imbues it with a lot of important energy that basically is going to help us continue using it as a research device, really.
I am a window between worlds.
I understand the subtleties and nuances of communicating with other realms.
I am grounded.
I am a tool created for love.
I want to learn the truth beyond the unseen. I want to be able to protect my friends.
We fill this well with our good intentions so that we may drink freely when we are thirsty. There we go. Let's use it.
Like flowers.
Yes. Yeah, that's definitely the salt.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I feel like it needs to go here.
I'll go in the room if you guys want to stay out. So just stare at it.
Just sit and stare.
Okay. Do you want to do it at the same time since you wanted to do it in this room? Or does that break it?
You want me to do it with you?
I don't know what's going to happen, so.
I was feeling a lot from in there.
Look through your reflection.
Okay.
It's a dark night, and you're trying to look out into the darkness outside, but you can kind of see your own reflection.
actually using it honestly creeped me out a little bit, because you're watching it and it's dark and you're looking at a dark mirror, and my mind's like wondering what my brain is just filling in for blanks. There's no information coming in besides like a very dim silhouette on the mirror, and then you start to see things.
So even though we put really good intentions into this, can it still show you really weird, not good things?
Absolutely. It's the message behind it.
The way that I look at it is, I think that it's showing us the truth, but I think that I feel as if there's like a safety within using it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's safe to use for us, but it's still gonna show us like messed up stuff. Like, if that's what's actually happening.
The symbol in the middle means that this is a window. That's all it is. It's not a gateway. It's not an entrance or an exit.
We were super careful with wording.
It's a window. Nothing can come through, but it can show itself.
So it can see us too?
Sure. One of the things that we wanted to do with this experiment is we wanted to create something that would act as a communication window. We were very careful with the wording that we used in the ritual, because we wanted to make something where we could see each other, but nobody could pass through one way or the other. I've been staring at a person for 5 minutes. That's not me.
Yeah, I've been staring at a person that's not you too.
Mm-hmm.
Who is it?
Don't know.
What does it feel like?
I don't want to be dramatic, but it feels sinister to me.
Could it be the room it's in?
Was that knocking?
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
Yeah, I heard that in here too.
My recorder's going in the other room.
There's recorders all over the place.
Yeah.
Hello?
Is it this guy? Is that you? Tap back.
As we were talking about the idea that this thing was just a window and not a portal, not a gateway, not a door, Ty said, so can they see us too? And that's the idea of a window. So yeah, they can see us and we can see them. And he knocked on the glass and said, can you knock back? And there was no response until we played the DR. It was tap. It just tapped back.
Did it?
On this. Listen to that.
But it feels sinister to me. Is that knocking? Yeah, I heard that in here too. Hello? Is it this guy? Is that you? Tap back.
And you can clearly hear a solid knock right after he asked that. I need you to show us what we don't know about this building. We can see you there. Switch places with me. Okay. I see the forest.
I just see trees.
Yeah, I see the trees.
I'm basically falling asleep. I know, me too. Literally, my head just nodded twice. Yeah. I'm not bored by any means. I'm just...
It's draining. Are you seeing the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're going by too fast, Greg.
Yeah, I can't make them out, but they're floating almost like.
Yep. I'm out. It just adds more questions.
So I'm looking in the scry mirror, and it takes a while, but then everything starts to go black and blank out. except for my shoulders, and I can see my body, and there's just a black head where my face used to be, apparently.
One of the first things that I saw was my head disappeared and turned into a swarm of bees that all kind of buzzed away. Then I began to see faces of people that I didn't recognize.
My face starts changing, and it starts changing into these crazy happy faces, like frozen happy faces.
I saw forest. I saw woods that kind of looked like the woods behind the Hinsdale House. And then I began to see strange light, little white lights, and they turned into symbols and realized they were symbols, and they were kind of moving back and forth, and then they turned into balls of light, and then they disappeared.
I saw trees and symbols and lights, and it was unnerving because I don't understand how it was happening. I mean, besides magic, I guess, but it was really weird.
How are you guys feeling?
I don't get drained like this.
I feel like we didn't get to accomplish anything.
I was starting to already feel that at the beginning of the night. It was almost as if it was like, you're not gonna get anything from this.
The house would stop giving us information because it wants us to come back. It wants everyone to come back.
It would actually make me feel comfortable if you all just kept talking.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's weird because we're getting tired, which means guards are coming down, and I'm feeling threat go up. Whereas beforehand, Katie was on the level and like was pointing at it, and now she's fallen asleep, but I can still feel it everywhere.
What do we need to do?
Right now? We just keep getting more questions.
Okay. I keep thinking, I don't know if it's what I'm seeing or if it's a literal reflection. I keep seeing someone standing by my shoulder. I'm trying to look past my reflection, as they say to do. So I'm doing that, and I can only focus on the movement that's over my right shoulder. I couldn't see the outline, but I could see that it was a dark core and then a light head. It was round, couldn't see a face. It was just too dark, and that made me whip around. Because again, I could not tell if it was something like a message I'm supposed to only see out of this type of mirror.
This situation feels like it's going to be more than 8 hours.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been this way for hundreds of years, apparently. Dan warned everyone that people who spend time here become obsessed with it. I've seen people I know personally become obsessed with it. I've heard stories about people becoming obsessed with it. And they've all become obsessed with it for very different reasons. And I think the reason that I'm going to end up being slightly obsessed with it is because I didn't get the answers that I wanted. I'm gonna work on that though, and I'm gonna fight that as much as I can because I can see what's happening already.
The GRCC was the cord that I thought I was gonna have the hardest time to cut. Tonight, we need to cut ties with this place.
Dan said they don't have all the answers, and they're constantly finding out that they're wrong about something, and they have to change something, and the narrative is expanding and it's changing. But in that narrative, there's really no solutions.
Right.
And there's a lot of people who think they have solutions. Sometimes their solutions are that it's a demon. Sometimes their solutions are that it's one of the former owners. But in any of those cases, there's really no solid evidence of any of those things. It's just hearsay. It's people's own.
And I think we just add to that.
That's the answer. You know what I mean? I think the fact that it's wants energy, it wants to just stay cognizant and stay the way that it is. It's never gonna satisfy anyone, and that's it. That's
how it keeps getting that energy.
Answers. It's never gonna give you everything you want because it wants you to come back.
Tonight was a reinforcement of the power of a psychokinetic manifestation. We've dealt with it with the box before. This is a gigantic PK manifestation. If the box continued to be fed over time, it could gain some type of consciousness, and that is exactly what this house did in 1974. possibly induced by that exorcism. And I don't know. I mean, I've just learned that, you know, not everybody wants your help. So you can't go into an investigation expecting to be able to be a hero.
While I am not totally comfortable with what's happening in the Hinsdale house, if this is the case, if this thing is feeding on people, it makes me uncomfortable. I've seen this happen before. I've seen it happen with haunted objects. I've seen it happen with haunted places to a much lesser degree. It doesn't feel good, but I don't know what to do about that, because I don't know if there is a way to stop it. With a place like Hinsdale, there's too much there already. There's too many people who feel compelled to help the house, and for very good reasons. There's a lot of historical precedent to saving this house and keeping it here. It's doing really great things for the community. I don't really think that it's hurting anyone, but it is unsettling. It's almost like it's got a symbiotic relationship with the people that visit. And I suppose if no one is directly being harmed, it's strange, it's uncomfortable, but I don't know if we could do anything about it. As long as people are enjoying their time in the Hinsdale house, as long as they're obsessing about the Hinsdale house, I don't think there's any real way to deal with that.
Oh my word,
How about
dude.
you find a positive place for us to stand? Let's drop a bomb on me. That's all I want.
It's all positive if you're not inside the house.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
What? Earlier today when we first got here, I was doing an interview out front with this woman that helps take care of the place. She has a son, and there's something very special about him. Everybody says that he sees everything that goes on here. And he came over, he just went like that, so I did it back. And then he points right up to the window upstairs. And I go, "Do you see something?" He didn't answer me. So I got right cheek to cheek and I said, "Should I go up in there? Should I go in the house?"
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Nick told me that okay, so I'm in the mirror and I see whatever, blah, blah. Nick said he saw it too. But he saw that lady's son smiling at me.
In the mirror.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't you remember?
Yep, he did that.
What did Ty's just explain? What did I see in the mirror?
Joker. Everybody's
Over
seeing
and over.
smiling.
He wasn't happy.
Nick saw
He was
him
saying it.
smiling.
He was telling you what's in the house.
Oh my God.
He was trying to tell us.
I'm like sick to my stomach.
Kid, 12 hours ago, that kid told us what we found out 5 minutes ago.
Remember, Katie, look, this is a sequence of events, remember?
All the
He went like this to me, and I did it back, being funny, and then he went like that.
Yeah.
He did this, and then he pointed to the house. That's when I started asking, should I go in?
The room we were in. Shit happened too. He pointed at the room we were in.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
I don't feel
this
right.
house just unraveled.
Holy shit, holy shit.
I feel sick.
Yeah. We just got played for 12 hours.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what this house just did, and we couldn't figure it out inside. We had to come outside.
There's no clarity.
There's no clarity.
There's no
That's what it is.
clarity inside that house.
I don't know if he predicted the future, but I mean, he did that, and that's exactly what we saw. And he pointed to the room that it happened in from outside. And the more I piece earlier today with tonight, I think that boy knew what we were gonna see. And I just, there's no clarity in this house.
So the Hinsdale house was insane. Between the EVPs that we were experiencing, the energy drains, and everything with a well of intention, we walked away with some pretty tremendous evidence. We're gonna average together our pre-rate score of a 6.5 with our score of a 10 for an 8.25 and a bellicose level haunt.
The sword has a lot of energy to it. Maybe it like sucks up energy, kind of like the house. So I was hoping with you guys' permission. I've been studying runes and stuff, so I would like to turn it into the anti-that.
I would like that if you did that.
Yeah. I've been studying runes, and I found ones that could weaponize something. It's just such a strange series of events that have led us here to this moment. Following what the Newkirks taught us about the Dybbuk box and the power of intent, I thought it was important to learn from this moment and use intent to give the cursed sword new life as a positive haunted object. I would have never thought of doing anything like this ever. And then I'm just reading my book and studying and find how to take an object and imbue it with runes to turn it into a magical weapon. So here is this symbol that weaponizes it. This is change, purification, pure light, and protection. Woo! So what I was thinking was this is how we cut ties tonight to this place.
Yes.
Awesome. Take the sword, the anti-house, and just cut the shit out of this thing.
Yeah.
We can turn it into a weapon that would then allow us to cut ties with awful places like this.
So I think we're all set on getting the frig out of here.
Yeah.
On the same page.
Yeah, it's 4 a.m. and I never need to see Hinsdale ever again.
Ever.
Done.
So what do you say we cut some cords?
Yep.
Cut
Off. Get it off.
off with
For
the
everyone
cord.
here. Everybody here.
Yeah.
Everybody.
A
all
big giant
people.
cord. Cut it.
Use the
Right
tiebreaker,
here.
Greg.
With this blade, we cut all cords that tie any unwilling to this property.
Yeah! Let's go home!
We're out of here.